Yo, bro, did you foofy? Recapping our first ever Festival of Friends event, plus this week's wet spaghetti. You can't handle the foof. Let's bring back the magic.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and glow. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of Bring Back the Magic podcast. This episode is brought to you by Theme Park Chuckle. It's our web store. It's our money. It's something you should give us. Just kidding. It is.
Just kidding. It doesn't make money.
We tease. But you can go on Theme Park Chuckle and grab one of these awesome shirts, maybe the Bring Back the Magic podcast throwback to Pleasure Island shirt. But show your support for the podcast, or just get a really cool shirt, or you know what? If support Disney small shops. How about you do that? That'd be great. I am one of your hosts. I'm Josh.
And I am his sister, Gina. And for those of you just joining us, welcome aboard. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a minute of the magic. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us a follow. Also like, comment. We love to hear what you think. And we're just excited to have you here.
That's true. And this episode is rated TV 14. So keep it clean for TV 14, you younger viewers, but have your parents' permission before watching this program. Yes, I did it. I remembered.
Feels like forever since we've been in here.
It really does.
It does. It took a little hiatus after the Festival of
Yes.
Friends.
So there's a lot to talk about because we got to hang out with some of the most awesome people I think I've been around in a long time. You ever had that trip that just made your heart feel good? Mm-hmm. That was what it did for me. Like, you see all these people that are just literally, when we talked about doing Festival of Friends, it was one of those things where like, is this going to work? Are people going to come?
Yeah.
You know, what's going to happen? And now we're like, oh my God, these people showed up. Not only did they show up, everybody, well, at least they said so. They all could be full of crap. Who knows? Just kidding. But everybody had a great time, and they talked about that experience and saying that was one of those things they'll take with them. And there's so many different people that went that I hadn't had a interaction with, you know, person to person. It's only been through like Instagram. And some people I was meeting from the first time regardless, because I didn't have those interactions you did on the page, because Bring Back the Magic, you can control that stuff more from the social aspect. And I don't see all the messages that are in there. So some of these people I was like, man, these people are just fantastic. There was nobody on there or that came that I was like, oh, I don't know how to feel. Like, it just seemed like everybody fit like a glove. Like, everything was great. And we said you could go through and do as much as you want or as little as you want. Mm-hmm. And people just wanted to do most of it. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing. It's like, we didn't want it to end. It's one of those things where like, I don't want it to end. But like, how did you feel about it?
I think it's been less than a month since it. Because first, which we'll get into later, like the amount that has been thought of and produced already by you mainly for the next event, which is until February of next year, is crazy. Like you would think.
And we announced those dates already. Yeah.
You have done more in those last couple of weeks for this festival than we accomplished, I think, in the whole entire lead up. And also we were novices, like, right. So we had this idea and like, you know, Missy really encouraged and was like, I think this would be great. Cause we had talked about, it'd be so fun to do like a meetup and like schedule. And then she was like, I think if you do this, like this festival and this, like, you know, you guys love a festival. So like a festival of friends. And so like collaboratively, like we decided this could be, you know, really great to do. And tying Missy in obviously as you know,
our
travel advisor, being our festival concierge. But like when the first idea, you know, like our family loves to throw a party, obviously. Our family loves to connect.
I like to party. I like to boogie.
People. We just like
the
to
nightlife.
Bring everybody into our fold of fun, basically. It's like if we're having fun, we just want everyone to be there. We always say, even if you're throwing a party for someone, it's just more about like, we just want an excuse to get everyone together and like have fun together. So as these ideas,
how else would the tomfoolery come about?
As all these ideas were unfolding, and it was like, okay, when can it happen? When are we going to do it? You know, what's the layout going to be? How's this going to work? And the ideas like started kind of like the idea that we could all just be, because I remembered, I'm actually going to say this about Dylan, and I think I've mentioned it before, Dylan, Universally Disney and everything. Leading into the last trip that I was there, it was like, that idea of we're both here. How can we not connect with each other? Because you don't want to abandon the people you're with so you can go meet up with somebody that you know on social media, and you don't want them to
It's a
abandon
lot
you.
of pressure.
And we're walking the opposite ways around the World Showcase. Like, we're okay, what country are you in? And this, like, as comedic as it was, and
I
as
think I
great
had
as
that
it
happen with Kyle too from Main
Yeah.
Street Collective. I
and
was
as
like,
great as
we couldn't make it happen.
And
But
there's times people just meet up organically and they're like, oh, I ran into this person, I ran into this person. But it's a lot of faces to remember.
Yeah.
And you don't want to disrupt, like interrupt somebody's family time or what have you. But knowing that we started with the idea of what if we all go at the same time? And then we just kind of map out this little concept through a minor agenda of this is where we'll be. If you want to hang together, this is where me, Josh, and Missy will be. And if you want to hang with us the whole time, you are invited to. Don't feel like you're crashing our party. That's what we're here for. This fun, merriment, good time.
but then we crap talked everybody.
Right,
Didn't
exactly.
show
No.
up. Yeah.
But if you just
Crap
want to
talking.
like go ride some rides, because I can't guarantee, because it's too hard to say, what does everyone want to do? What does everyone want to do? You can't do that. So some people might want to ride rides. Some
Yeah.
people just want to go around the country. Some people just want to chill for a while. Whatever you want to do. So I feel like we mapped it out with enough
Well,
space in between.
I also think that at some point as a Disney adult, your tastes change with the parks. So you go from when you're a little bit younger, but still a Disney adult, to like, I got to go do this stuff. And sometimes just like, it's just escapism and relaxation just to be in the parks. Cause you realize that some of your vacations feel like work. You're like, I don't want to run around and chase lightning lanes. I just want to hang out and
It's
have a
also
good
different
time.
for people that are local. Like if you're
Yeah.
local, like you're not gonna have, but somebody that might fly in, and this is only because we also had
yeah.
in mind. What if this is someone who signs up's only trip this year? Like we
Yeah.
don't want to be like, well, what do you need rides for? What if they brought their
Yeah,
family?
that trip sucked.
Right. We wanted to make sure there was that flexibility. And I
Yeah.
really think that the group that we had demonstrated that flexibility worked because, Sarah was there and her friend Jasmine was in from the UK. And so, of course, she wanted to ride rides. This was Jasmine's trip to Walt Disney World.
Absolutely.
But they went and did it. And then they'd reconvene back with us and be like, hey, we're going to meet back up with
But
you.
shout
And
out to
she
both of them because they're awesome.
Fantastic. Loved it. But it worked so well. And then having the opening night, which we weren't sure, the little preview night, because obviously from us coming from Comic Cons, we know how the value of a preview night. It's like, hey, whoever's around, you want to come get your bags early, yada, yada. And some people extended their trips just because of that, like Frank's family. And we're like, we're going to add an extra night so we can be there for preview night.
I love it.
And that immediate click, like I remember Emily, who I barely knew, I'd only, because we did start a chat beforehand of everyone who had registered. We added them to the chat and we're like, okay, this is a little way for us kind of to get to know each other, those who didn't know each other yet. And Emily was like, oh, she seems so sweet. She seems, but I didn't know her yet. And so she was engaged in the chat. It was like, okay, she was registered on her own, didn't know anybody in that group.
Mhm.
And when she showed up and was like, hey, it was like immediately like, yes, vibes are there. And she got up and she sang karaoke the first
Oh, you
night.
mean Emily the American Idol?
I
I jumped. I said, I'm like, Emily
like,
gets
she's
up
gonna
there
be-
and shuts it
Yeah.
down. You
I-
did a great job too. And it was like, everybody loved you guys. And I'm like, of course,
But-
we'll get into, let's save that just for right now. We'll get into
that's
that
one of
because
my
it's our
favorite
main,
parts of the
our
whole
main,
entire
yes,
thing.
we'll get into that when we do the main discussion of this. First off, let's go into a segment we like to call What Spaghetti? There's a meatball. Okay. All right.
It's like that segue was like, okay, but first let's do something
Yes,
completely different.
let's do something. Yes. Now for something completely different.
It's like the carousel of progress. We just shifted to the next thing.
Yeah, there goes Schwartz in his Hupmobile.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Yeah, and a sarsaparilla. So, Gina, what is your wet spaghetti? What have you heard from around the castle?
Well, to dabble into some major news that everyone and their brother sent me, tagged me, or asked me about, that they have announced that the Carousel of Progress, we knew an update was coming because they were adding the Walt animatronic, and it only stood to reason, perhaps, that they would be updating the scenes. Very funny, and I can have in our next episode, I will go into this in depth because I could talk about this for an hour alone, but I won't right now. But I had already said my wet spaghetti in the past. I had heard that Tom Selleck would be the new voice of John Progress.
Mhm.
I stand firm on that, and I will keep promoting that idea because I'm convinced Josh's Underworld idea was seen and borrowed. So I'm going to keep pushing that until I get Tom Selleck's phone number, get in touch with his agent. But I mentioned this on social, but if you don't follow us on social at BBT Magic Podcast, I heard that because the final scene is going to be distant future, off planet, and I believe they even mentioned something about robots, that there will be a nice callback for Horizons fans, the unofficial sequel to Carousel of Progress that existed in Epcot in Future World back in the day, where Mission Space is now, the Vomit Comet, that they would be bringing in the robot Butler, very famous, one of the scenes in Horizons, and still an icon.
And he kills everyone.
And still an icon, but that he would be
He'll
part.
only be a robot
He
Butler.
would be part of the Progress
We're all dead. AI
family's.
killed us.
He would be part of the Progress family's life in that future scene, and it would be such a great callback for Horizons fans, Carousel of Progress fans to be like, yes, because we love a nod that says we appreciate the people that have been here for a long time. So I heard that we will see that robot Butler in that final scene of Carousel of Progress. That's my wet spaghetti.
I like that. I heard there was actually other scenes talked about. There was one with John Progress as a total thirst trap. That he's sitting there taking selfies, but then it actually makes it updated more to modern times where you see the family sitting around, they're all on their cell phones. They're all on
The
their
final
cell
scene is the family's just all looking at their house.
they're FaceTiming each other from the same room.
Yes,
And it's
exactly.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And grandma's like what you would call like bionic kind of thing because they found something to keep grandma.
Grandma's a
you know.
hologram.
Yeah, she's been able to keep kicking for all
Yes.
these years.
I personally would love to do our whole next episode all about the Carousel of Progress because there's a lot of great history there. There's a lot of great opportunities for what
we can always think of that. Yeah. So I'm just gonna make something up on the spot. Maybe Disney will hear it. I heard things have been talked about from circles and maybe some squares too, that for the Halloween season, okay, Disney has decided if you're at Fort Wilderness, okay, Fort Wilderness is going to have an experience that takes you over to the abandoned Discovery Island and gets you almost like a ghost tour on Discovery Island
Count
of
me
the
out.
rundown stuff. So to make it even spookier, it's a limited engagement with a spooky tour around Discovery Island in its rundown state. Maybe somebody dies. Who knows? It's great. Disney, it's wildly unpopular in Disney.
It's wildly unpopular.
In the Disney versus, it's really unpopular. They're like, right, yeah, but you know what? Don't tell them, don't take
Wildly.
names. That's the thing. Don't put people's names down. Then there's proof they were
I
there.
did not hear that. one. I
Just
hope
put
I
a
heard
little
it.
girl in an old Victorian dress somewhere
Singing?
on that island.
Singing?
It'll be the most scary thing in the world because that's what happens. Little girl ghosts scare people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's your wet spaghetti. All right. All right. Wet spaghetti. All right, let's get to the meat of the topic. Okay, you and I, for our tomfoolery.
Mhm.
Again, we said we came back from Festival of Friends. I think it's a wildly, I don't know what to say, a very big success, put it that way.
I like to think so.
Beyond our wildest imagination is what I'm trying to say. To already have done it now and then looking forward to 240 some days from now. I mean, like, literally, I think it's like 240 whatever till Festival of Friends Part 2. Okay. Yeah. It's so funny to me that I had such a great time that I'm already trying to fast forward a year of my life, which sucks because when you get older, these start being fleeting and you're like, man, I don't like to slow it down. And you're like, speed it up. I want to get back to my friends. But I feel like everything we did there was memorable. Like there was experiences we did. Like we were talking, okay, so we're talking about the opening night. I know you want to get to the story. I'll let you tell it or I'll take it from you. But I will tell you this. That first night really set the tone for me because everybody knows me that I will worry wart when it comes to getting things done. Like things aren't going to get done. And I'm like, if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. I need to get something done. Right. So everything, putting together the bags, I had a great time with that. But I'm like, oh, this has to be this way. How are we going to get down to here? And it just all kind of fell into place. We got down to Bellevue Lounge, which is the only time in the history of the world that Bellevue has been open and there's been more than one person in there.
But how funny is it that we had secured that in advance and we were like, this will be no problem. And then we get there and there's like 100 people in there because there was
they said, I guess the use of it, but they're like, oh, there's going to be people.
Well, I didn't know they didn't book it off for us, but I'm saying.
We're like, here, we'll just take this little thing offside, which ended up working.
Today of all days, there's people in Bellevue Lounge.
Yeah, it was like they were giving out
love
free
it,
Brooks Brothers suits. Yeah. And everybody came by, oh, yes, I sell insurance, whatever. Cool if you do. I'm like, I just need to get this to my
Speaking of which, I'm upset though, because I just saw after the fact, the Bellevue Lounge apparently has a banana bread espresso martini that I wish I would have known about and tried that night.
It'll match that shirt. So during the pickup of the badges and everything, and we just had only a few people were able to come at that point to grab their stuff. But as people started coming in, it's like, hey, it was just the best feeling. Seeing our friends that we had.
A decent size group
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as like a preview night. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
had Mark and Stacy and Frank and Carolyn and Kelly and Callie
Yeah.
and
Emily was there
Emily
too.
was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was a hopping little crew. Me, Brianna,
Yeah.
Missy.
Everybody, I don't want to forget anybody, but yeah, it's like everybody was there and it was just such a great experience because that's what the Disney community is all about. So when we planned what we were doing later, say, okay, we're doing this, we're going over. And some people split off like, hey, we're going over to the yacht club. We're doing this stuff. We're going to go here, meet you here.
Yeah, because Jasmine
And then some
Sarah-
people tell you that they're going to the yacht club and,
And
they're
then
going to
you
get
go.
something. And then you call them as you're getting ready to go to the yacht club and you're like, oh, we're at Kimonos. That person may have been Missy and she may have got her drink on. She disappears. She kind of like traveling Matt from Fraggle Rock.
Remember,
when she
originally that's what we called her when she
Yeah.
first set up her travels.
Well, I'm doing it because when she drinks, I'm like, oh yeah, she just goes wandering. I'm like,
She
somebody
just
give a
likes to be
silver
where the
alert
good
or
ti- like, where the
something.
fun is. She likes to
But
go
she
with
is,
the
and
flow.
I love the effortlessness that it is. She's like, okay, we're just over here. But she'll tell you where the
She's a
best
great-
spots are to
Missy
go.
has always been like Julie McCoy, the cruise director on the Love Boat. We used to say that back in the day. Missy was always a great little cruise director. So she's ready to like set the tone and have fun. I was gonna say, because Sarah and Jasmine were at bag pickup, but they didn't come to karaoke. So it's like you said, some people split off and were like, okay, come in. But I do want to tell that story.
Yeah, tell the story about the first
So
night.
we get to karaoke, and I know that Josh, already like loves karaoke. The Jumpy family loves karaoke. We just do. And then Josh had his song, like he would like to sing because he likes to sing like anybody else does. You like to sing what you feel is in your wheelhouse and what you're comfortable with. You know the song, you feel like it's in your voice range, whatever. So Mark, God bless him, decided, because I think he doesn't take karaoke that seriously. Why would he? It's karaoke. We're not at the Grammys. And I was like,
I'm trying to get discovered.
because this particular karaoke
Till Emily
lady,
came along.
when she showed up, the lady who had karaoke was like, oh, you can go on this app and you can just sign. Which I was like, this is fantastic. I love this. There was no book. You could go through the app. It was so much more convenient. Because remember, everybody else who had karaoke, you'd have to reprint your book every time a new song came out. But Mark puts in a song and I can see what the song is because I'm looking in the screen. And Josh's like, what is it? He's getting so nervous. Like, what did you put in? I'm not going to know it. What is it? And I'm thinking, you've heard this song, but he's not going to know it. And I'm actually feeling bad for Josh. I'm like, Josh's going to hate this. But I will give Josh credit because he like got up there and wasn't like throwing a tantrum, even though I know he did not want to do this. So he gets up there, but it was one of my favorite moments because it was such a kickoff of what Festival of Friends is all about. Because Josh was
reliving
like,
this in my
I do
brain
not
right
know
now."
this song. And it was Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
I was like, WTF is this song?
Yes. So Josh is like, I don't know this. But literally everyone in our group was like, oh, come on, and starts singing it. To then the rest of Kimono starts singing it. And everyone is just like singing it out loud. Like
I'm glad everyone else knew it.
But that was such a great show of support for
It
you.
was
People could have
fun.
let you just die up there and just like, this is really embarrassing for you. We know the song, but you don't. But everyone like sang for you and was like, great. And then Josh was like, okay, enough of that. Something I like. But it was just such a cute moment of everybody just jumping in and being like, feel the rain on your skin. It was so cute. And it's one of my favorite moments from Festival of Friends. Because it was like that moment right there was the first, like, we're all in this together. Like it was all like, we're all here. This was not any individuals. We all became like a unit in that moment. And God bless, Stacy. Stacy's there jamming and videotaping everybody. And it was just like, I love her cheerleader vibe. I told you her and Mark are my favorite teenagers on the planet. And that, guys, they're not actual teenagers, but they are teenagers, if you ask me. And Frank getting up there and rapping, and Mark getting up there, and you guys.
Oh, we had a whole rhythm. We had a whole rhythm
That
section.
was something we didn't say. You know what we're gonna do at karaoke? It was just like, and then we'll go to karaoke.
Yeah, Mark
We'll
was
see.
the one that did Bust the Foof.
Right. But we would figure for us, like, well, we know at least we'll get up there. So if there is anybody nervous, we'll get up there. We had no idea Emily would get up there and make us all click crap.
Yeah. Emily's like, here comes 5-time recording artist and gold album.
She's so
whatever.
talented, and I'm so happy for
She's
her.
like, I was a theater kid. I was like,
Yes.
where was this? When your
We have a
Broadway
duet, I
debut?
think, planned. We have a duet planned for next year already.
I'm like, oh my God, we're going to do a duet. We're going to do a whole thing. There's going to be a thing.
It
It's
was
going to be.
so good though. It set the tone because it could have been, okay, I don't know if and people could have come and like stayed for 10 minutes, like, I'm going to go to bed and do that. Like everyone was in the moment. They were vibing. They were just, there was no weird moment, no awkward, no uncomfortable silences. Like from that first moment, it was like
I think
it.
what we should do is also institute a karaoke night or a new type of karaoke, a la The Voice. Like you just get random
your
people
chair.
that are turned around already, and if they don't turn around the first X amount of seconds, you have to get off the stage.
Oh
Like it's
my
almost like the Gong
God.
Show without being as mean. Like Gong, you're just like, okay, sorry, you didn't get the cut
You know
off.
me, I'll turn around for everybody.
I was
Except
gonna-
you.
I'll go and do what was it? Jimmy Fallon did when he did the whole thing on The Voice. He came out, he hit the button
Yes,
for the guy, and
yes,
just started
yes.
laughing.
And then even the other people that were there, perfect example of why this is
Oh,
so
there was
great.
a great group that
The
was
other
loud
group
and
that was
just
there, they were
having fun.
and it was great for me.
And they're cheering
because-
for we're cheering for them.
Yes.
They're cheering for us.
I get up there like, she's great. I was like, oh, keep drinking. Thank you. This is so nice. I have
Aw.
a fan club.
You did stick to the
It
songs
was-
that you really do light up, though.
I did,
like
but I
that.
did mess up because when I did all that jazz, I picked the wrong version. I should have picked the Catherine Zeta-Jones version, not the Liza Minnelli, but that's okay. It didn't matter. No one cared. But I feel better in that
Yeah.
version. But again, I'm no singer.
You know
I
who
just
did
karaoke
care?
here.
You know who did care about that particular thing was Tina, our waitress. That Mark. I like what I said this before too. Mark, I said this, I think in the recap of
You
everything.
did in the live episode.
That when Mark was there, he's like, "Come over here, Grandma's getting mad at me." He's like, she's giving me the business over here. So he's there
She
at a
was-
big table. She's like, "Are they gonna come over?"
Yeah.
And then, like I said, as
He
time
was
goes
so
on,
scared. He was holding this table for 10 people by himself. He's like,
I think Grandma probably also worked in maybe she worked over in Epcot too, like where you're in the store. And there's a difference between Japan and China, but they don't always say you have to be Japanese to work at kimonos.
Right.
But I said it was kind of like the pressure you feel like when you're in the China pavilion, when you're in
buy-
Epcot, when they're like this, where are you walking with that? You're like, I just picked it up. I was looking at it. I might want to buy
Well, I
it.
will
And then
say-
they're like, I'll hold this at the counter for you, you shifty
the
bastard.
karaoke lady was very sweet, but my problem was her volume was so low. Like we would get up there and we're like, I can't hear myself or the music. It's way too low. Like I get we're in a hotel, but like Kimonos is in the right spot that you could have karaoke.
Oh
be
yeah,
a
no,
little
I needed
louder.
on stun.
I needed that way, but she was good at when somebody didn't know the part. She would kind of like sing and help out. She did take a break, which I thought was kind of weird. I was like, you didn't even get started till 9 o'clock. Why are you taking a break?
You know what I loved about her? She didn't sing. Because not
Didn't she kick it off? She sang the first song.
did she?
I think so.
Well, kicking off's one thing, but it's not like one of those ones that somebody runs karaoke
Oh, but
and they
that's a
insert
good point.
themselves.
Is that I was so excited because I immediately put in my next song, and I understand the way the world works.
I just
but
kept
I just
going,
kept
ticking
getting
down
bumped down for new people. I was like, "What happened to the fastest finger?" Okay, I got it in my song. I should have put in a fake name.
So
That's
funny.
the trick. Put in a fake name and then jump up and be like, this
I
is
was
my evil
on
twin.
Norwegian Cruise Lines for kind of a pseudo second
Nina
honeymoon.
Jeppy.
Like a second honeymoon kind of thing with my family, and it ended up being my own personal concert at karaoke night because nobody wanted to sing, and I got up there, and like the older people in there, they were just liking the stuff I was doing. So I'm like, they're like, Josh, they would start asking me if I would sing a song and put it in. I'm like, okay, so like, thank you for coming out to my concert, everyone. It was a lot of fun, and I had stuff to drink, so I didn't care. I wasn't
fun.
hurting.
Karaoke is fun. Like I never want anyone to get up there and think like, oh my God, everyone's going to be gauging. Like if you're having fun, you're already fun. to
Karaoke is
watch.
meant literally to have
like
a fun
Stove.
time.
Remember Stove who got up there?
Yeah,
Like I kept calling him Stover. He got up there and he was saying they were having a blast, and that's fun. If everyone's just a great singer,
It's supposed to
that's
be that way.
lovely to hear, but it's not as fun. You need a mix.
It's an energy. If you're a great singer, then put some pizzazz in it too. Get
Yes.
people on their feet.
and
get 'em
all
dancing.
that jazz.
Yeah, right. We'll make sure we find a recording somewhere, guys, and put it out. Gina can get discovered. But that was great. And that's what speaks to the Disney community stuff, because we all had a great time, and that was a great kickoff to things. And then knowing the next day we were going to be in the park, and our first day was Epcot, and we got to go and hang out with each other. And it's funny because it was so relaxed that even next time, I'm actually going to be a little more organized about what I do, because I want to kind of also be considerate of what the times I put in things, because I kept getting to things later. And I'm like, okay, first year kind of quirks here and there. You're trying to get places, you're like, crap, this took longer than I thought it was going to. But then you're doing things in the morning. So we got to go over to Epcot and meet with everybody. And then we did that like in the UK pavilion, and then went and kind of, what did we do after the UK? Like it was,
Kind of just started like strolling
we
around.
walked towards the land, I
countries.
think.
Yeah, and then we said we could go ride Living with the Land.
Yeah, Living with the
Callie had never
Land.
ridden it before, and I think
Which was funny because we ended up taking up like 2 full boats.
It was very exciting.
And that was
And it actually had a wait there, which is like never heard of, like never has a wait.
it was because of
But
us.
yeah, we went and they were very nice at like letting the rest of our group get in there when they
Yeah.
showed up because it was like Mozzie needed to join like when he got
Yeah, the
there.
rest of them won. You're like, you
But
got
we
20
wrote
some
it,
people.
and that was I remember Sarah, the park topic said that the park topic said that was one of her favorite parts was like all of us just being able to live with the land
Mm-hmm.
together and riding like so many of those moments just felt curated even though they were organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think what was curated was the opportunities, but the actual moments just were so organic.
Well, it gives you ideas now, like after that, of other things you can do.
Mhm.
Like we had a lot of fun, and I know that one of the funniest thing was watching Mark and Stacy do the scavenger hunt, and also Kelly
Against Kelly, yeah.
kind of going at it to see like basically her and Mark versus each other, and they're
Yes.
trying to go through, and then Frank
didn't
gets
take
in
a
on it. He's
single
like,
picture.
here. So we put it in like the book. Gina puts this nice thing about it's not competitive, all this stuff. No, we did. We made it. I ended up putting it into like a digital form where you could upload pictures and everything. And that was like at the last second too. So
Yeah.
everything was like, I'm like, what if we did this? I'm like, okay, this works.
Yeah.
Which is side note has spawned a whole other thing in my brain.
Mhm.
So like, I'm like, okay, which I'm working on. That'll be debuted soon. But I'm like, what can we do to make this more interactive? Because I want people to be able to.
Whereas next
Do
year, I
things.
told you there will be two versions. There will be a competitive version.
Yeah,
and
there'll
then
be one
another.
that you just do and you see
Yeah,
something.
but
that
another one that's I won't give away everything, but the other one will be a different vibe. But it is fun for the people that like the competition because Kelly, who was so competitive about it, but yeah, forgot her brochure. She forgot her passport. It
She
was
kept saying, "You got one I can borrow?" I'm like,
we're like the whole passport is the whole scavenger hunt is in there, and that was fun. That was fun, creating because again, I told you your masterpiece of that festival, besides there was a ton of other amazing things, was the festival passport. Like people did not expect the level of production of the passport. It was bigger than what Disney puts out. Ours was 5x7, full color, great ads. Thank you to our sponsors that decided to participate in there and did their ads, activities in there, agenda in there. You know, there was so much. There was the creation station, which was a way for people to have content ideas in there. And then there was the scavenger hunt, and then there was crossword puzzles and word searches, and then the bar crawl. It was just everything was outlined in there in beautiful full color, and then some notes from us and stuff. It was just really, really, I think that also set the tone for people. As soon as they pulled that out of their swag bag, they were like, "Oh."
well, I also love that. That was the other thing is like the swag bag in general, because I think when people got into this, to take a blind leap to say, I have no idea what I'm getting into. I paid a few bucks or whatever to come to this thing. And it's not like it was uber cheap to do, but it was affordable enough for people.
$400.
Yeah. The next one is $5,000 cash, cold hard cash. No,
Basically, we need
Some
to
cash.
pay an annual salary to Josh and I. So we just need to divide that
some
up.
cash. No, so this one, like you said,
Small
people took
unmarked
a leap.
bills or large marked ones. If
When you know
prefer
you're
the other way.
when you know you're going somewhere, you already have to pay for park tickets, meals, all this stuff, transportation, all these kind of
Yeah,
things,
we wanted to
hotel
keep
rooms.
that in mind.
For somebody to do it and then like had no idea what they're getting into, I like seeing the reaction to what
Yeah.
people got.
Yeah.
So the swag bag had a lot of great stuff in it, and there's a lot of great sponsors that came on. Like you're wearing the shirt right now that Kyle from Main Street Collective, shout out Kyle,
Our
did for us.
beautiful
It was
bright
awesome.
yellow.
It was Kyle's first time. He just got a screen press, a screen press or whatever it is, or screen printing kind of press. I can't talk again.
I love
But it came out
color.
great.
The color's beautiful.
It was a nice thing he got to do that
Custom.
on, and it just I love the design. I love everything. I love the way it
worked
looked.
out so good on the day that we all wore them because they were so.
You could
standout.
pick us out.
Everyone said it was so easy to find you guys. Like it was like we knew.
And
where we
that's the
were.
thing you want, because you want to be like, oh, there's the group. We only did it
weren't
one
so
day.
worried about other people seeing us. It's like it's great marketing for
Yeah.
the event, obviously. But overall, we were just
Maybe it's just
more
because we're
interested-
getting older in our
It
eyes.
was
We're like, yeah, there's
more-
somebody that looks
it
like a
was more
banana.
Like, can we find each other in this event? Like, yes, because if somebody stopped, because we got
That's that person dressed like one of them lemon sour candies.
because again, the flow was there. So if you were
Mm.
at Disney Springs the day we did the Disney Springs day, and you were like, "Oh, I want to go eat here," or "I want to go shop in this place," then you could
Mm.
reconvene with everybody. You knew where we were going. You knew what was happening, and that was really, really, really nice.
No, that
But
was
the
good.
Swag bags you were.
But the
talking
swag
about.
bag, so we have that in there. We had What's Your Passion gave us like the little pins, the Care Bear pins that they have a
Yeah.
license with. So there was
Mm.
actually two different versions. If anybody realized, there was two different versions in there, and I know everybody liked those a lot. They're really nice quality. They had Pixie Dust and Flames put like a little package in there that everybody absolutely adore. And I love the little button protectors because it's something so simple. You realize that nobody ever thought of this because you get those celebration buttons.
Yeah.
And literally, hats off to them. I'm not taking mine off. I'm bald and it'll be a glare. But it's something so simple that was so effective because we were actually on one of their whatnot sales the other night and getting stuff. And Jax was on there, our friend Jacqueline.
Yeah.
So Magical Mama Jax. She was like, do you have any of these button covers? Because you see those, and it's true, because everybody says the same thing. Disney will give you a celebration button that's a celebration smudge. It's a celebration of smudges.
Tape over it, and this
we used to, and it just
looked way to preserve.
But this was like prismatic and everything.
Yeah, I love
And
it. Looks good.
Yeah, take that. Take that, Facilier. But yeah, look at this.
It looks so pretty on the screen right now.
So look, it's
Crystal like did those for us.
Yeah, Crystal did the design. I can't get too close in there.
Personalization on there, and
but you see that prismatic look. It went on easy. I highly recommend them if you get a chance. If you're going to Disney, make sure you get some of those covers.
They do beautiful cups.
Yeah, they do a lot of things, a lot of attention to detail, and I really do appreciate them.
Yeah, but there were so many things in there, and we can obviously on our social media.
Missy with her cooling kit, she did.
That was a huge.
So she had like little thing with a cooling towel in it. You had a little fan in there. You had those things.
Bag. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Dynamite we had a mystery comic in there that was bagged in it. So it's like, okay, you didn't know which one of the villains you were going to get on a variant comic book, which was a lot of fun.
Excited. Blind bags are always popular.
I think there's a video being done of that too, or whatever it is.
Yes.
But I'm anxious to see that because everybody was really excited about their things.
Yes.
But it was like, there was one thing after another. I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't realize the amount of things that were going into this. There was buttons in there. And then there was magic band sliders, the wands. They were the most POS thing.
Those were donated by us.
Okay. We're going to do this.
We can trash these because we put them in there.
We're going to do this live on screen and see what happens. Okay, this one. There you go. There you go. Or new upgraded
For
one.
next year.
I feel like I'm the ShamWow guy. So you don't do this with your other one. Okay, look. I might have not thought of this. Okay, but look, that's what happens. They were nice. See? Seizure.
This is very much like.
But that's what happened to everybody. Because we're like, oh man. But it was just a nice little thing in there to say,
we were only trashing it because we were the ones that put them in there.
Yeah, it was crap. But it was just a funny
People
thing.
didn't care. That was another.
It became a funny part of it. Like I had my wand, but I broke it in 3 seconds.
That was a magical memory. Also, everyone talked about. We had said in the brochure, or in the passport, okay, we're gonna all watch fireworks together. So when you reconvene, get together around 8:00. As early as 8. You could come at 9 if you wanted. 8:00. We're gonna hang out in Italy, and I had selected Italy just because I was thinking, oh, there's that bridge there. That'll be perfect for a photo of all of us together. That's the reason I picked Italy.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, and I thought this is great because there's wine, champagne. America's not that far. Like it was kind of primely located for what beverages you might want to like have while you watch, or if you want to go up and get something to eat.
Well, you could watch and get like gelato or something like that if you wanted to watch fireworks.
Perfect. It was so magical. And being that distance away from the entrance when we went to leave, we talked about, and Mark said it in our previous episode about how it reminded him of Jollywood, where it was like, we were kind of like, we're not going anywhere, like, heck no, we won't go. It was like we walked out so slow. It felt like we owned the place, and it just made took great pictures, and it was nothing disruptive. There was no cast members trying to scoot us out that we weren't listening to or anything, but we were just strolling our way out and getting pictures, and it just felt.
What was the running joke? Because you have about like 30 people, and majority of them content creators that do things for Disney, that the majority of us never even made anything because we're like,
we're so in the moment.
We are so having just a great time. It's like reliving your childhood, but you're with adults, and there's people, we still had some kids there. Frank had his family in there. You had Massimo, there was kids around, not saying bar kids from like the events and everything. I said, it's fun when you go as a Disney adult. It's more of an adult-esque kind of
Jollywood. Jollywood, you're allowed to bring kids. It's much more fun as an adult.
We don't build Festival of Friends as something where it's like, here, bring your whole family to it. Build it as more of an adults kind of thing. But it doesn't mean it precludes you from doing that. Saying your family's not going to want to hang out with a bunch of adults the entire time anyway. They want to go do their things, but they're more than welcome to be around all this. We love everybody.
Yeah. And it's a great point what you said though, Josh, because we joke about it a lot, all of us, since the event of, it was a content creator group that didn't create any content, but it really does speak on, and we're not trying to like elevate ourselves and say what we are doing is better than anybody else. You can say that. No, but we're not saying that. It's just that
who's doing it?
It's just the idea that I would imagine a lot of, because first of all, we had said a lot of these people coming, they deserve to be invited to creator events and they're not getting the invitations, but they deserve it because they work really hard
Yeah.
on their accounts. And I'd love to see that happen for a lot of them. I'd love to see Disney invite them to things.
Mhm.
But in the event, the creator space, a lot of them, there is a lot of obligation of you're expected to create this, you're expected to do this, and this is what we need, and this is where you have to be. And we didn't want that. We didn't want it to be, we kept saying, these are just some ideas. You are in no obligation to create anything. We are not saying, well, once you're here, you got to be able to post about this. And you better, nope. If somebody didn't post, not everybody posted their swag bags. Not everybody posted like things, and that's totally fine. We were like, this is for you. If you choose, the benefit was, because content creators are always looking for content ideas. The benefit is if you're looking for something, we're giving you something you can make content, but you don't owe us that. You don't owe anybody that. We were much more into the idea of people being part of the community. And that's what this is all about.
It's great. And
community. Like everybody being there and being present. That was exciting.
it was. And and the thing is, like you said, we had a ton of sponsor people that stepped up in there. Like, Kaufman and Lind, obviously one of the bigger sponsors in there. Same thing with Choice Fine Art. And it was nice to see people come in, had no idea what this was going to be, had no idea what it was going to be, but they did it anyway. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you sponsor dollars. We'll do this kind of thing so you can make a better event.
Right.
And everything went into the event. And it was great.
I did love the story takeovers that were happening though.
Yes, it was. That was a content thing. Because again, it's
that
like,
was fun because it really was community. It was like, I'm going to take over your story.
it's kind of like a high school dance for certain parts, because when you go through, we're going to do the collaboration and celebration, you build it as everybody's sitting around. It's like, oh, what are we supposed to do? You got to have that first person that goes out in the dance floor and kind of dances. And people started making content. I love the stuff that was
Bippity boppity boop.
that kind of thing. I'm like, I don't know what the heck I was doing. I was like a robot.
I loved it. It was funny.
And I'm surprised the wand held up. I think it probably broke at the end of that, but it was funny. I'm like, as you can see by that, and I wasn't really doing anything hard. That's my brute strength. So, but those things came out of it. It was so fun because once it got going, now we know for next time, say, okay, we'll do this. We can plan something a little differently. And we wanted to have it where people had space in the day to do other things. But like the wheels are turning now, like just so much. Cause I'm like, everything, I'm like, okay, I see how this is, but that's how my mind works. Like when I see one thing that whether it's success or failure, it doesn't matter at that point. It's always on to the next. So if something like, let's take the scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt could be gangbusters and everybody's like, this is amazing. We love it. Blah, 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 all this stuff. I'm like, oh, there's a way to level up this. I'm like, I'm glad it was a success, but it could be more. And that's kind of things I look at. But I also want to keep this. We talked about the next event, okay, which as this episode airs, on there, registration will be opening for
Tomorrow.
for the thing, yes, for on the Friday, whatever the date,
12th.
the 12th. And is it the 12th already? Jeez, I don't know why I looked at my watch. I don't know why I looked at my watch. Does not have the date. So going and getting this whole thing and saying, all right, we're gonna have a almost a year to plan kind of thing, and then people are already starting to talk about it again. They're like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that, but we're keeping it intimate, where the cap is a cap number of people that can get in on it.
Right.
Because we don't want to make it something where you're going to a convention.
Right.
We want to make it somewhere where you're going to a community
and
you're going somewhere that you
like
can have
ideally,
fun.
we don't know where it's going like one day as far as the capabilities, but we just know coming off the heels of this first one, the only size that we're willing to increase to, because we don't want to destroy the integrity, because again, we hold dear the people that came to the first one, the experience that they got. And nothing against anybody else who's coming, but it's like they would be fine if it was just them all over again, because they know what to expect is great. We know the great people that couldn't come last time, the people that are so excited, and we are equally excited to have them be part of this, because we know it's going to be just as great. But it was such a compliment
even better
when you send out the survey, when the one, what could we do differently next time, that 100% of the people checked, like, don't change it. Like change, don't change. The only thing was like, they'd be happy to like have an extra day, which we are doing an extra day, but everyone was like, keep it like this. Certain options we gave, they go, no, keep it, because they don't know the other options either, but we don't want to destroy the integrity and go, okay, we did this. Well, now we're going to start planning 16 things a day. And it's like, that would kind of disrupt it. It's like, still keep the flow, the integrity, but we can, especially with other things you've designed or what we did with the passport and things, there's ways we can increase opportunity. It's never, we said, we never wanted this to be an event of obligation. We wanted it to just be opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to do this? You can. You don't have to. If you were somebody like Jacqueline had said, I'm going to rope drop in the morning before these 2 days. Can you tell me where we're going to be? Because it was before the schedule was announced. And it's like, yeah, sure. Because things like that allow people to go, okay, well, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to go to the parks, even if we're not supposed to meet at Disney Springs till 1. Like, I'm going to get
Well,
up
the
and
thing
do
is,
something.
like,
And you
especially
can.
with Missy's planning ability,
Mhm.
what she did with the boathouse, which we
Yeah, that
always
was
loved the boathouse and everything. They even put it like you guys made a reel. They put it up on their story and everything
Mhm.
too, with all of us with the Festival of Friends.
Mhm.
It was also funny how Instagram was apparently labeling Disney's Festival of Friends or something like that. I heard. I don't know how that works, but I'm like, yeah. But it was great because that whole little lunch kind of thing we had there,
That was really special.
it was great because we were talking tables and everything else, and it was just like a
We
big
had a
group of
little
friends.
space.
It wasn't even little. It was a
allotted
nice
for, I mean,
big
it was large. It
space
was like a
on
whole
the dock.
dock. Like, there
We're
was
the only ones out
allotted.
there.
And Missy was very like, I'm determined to get that spot for us. And she was so right on, like she always is, because
Yeah.
she's very good at visualizing. And she was like, this will be our spot. And it was so perfect because we had enough space. We had a little space in there if there had been more. So I don't know, like, if the size is doubled next year, like
Yeah.
how we coordinate. I do think there's an additional extension.
Well, it's
like,
also
right
we have
there.
the option of going inside if we end up doing that again and all that stuff. We
But
don't
it
know.
was so
Stay tuned because
perfect.
we
We had
don't
our
know what's
own
going to happen next year.
dedicated servers. We were out on the water. Like, it was like we were enjoying the outside. It felt like we could make as much noise as we wanted. We weren't going to bother anybody if we were yelling across tables
Well,
to
the
each other.
little whatever boats that were going by,
Yeah, the amphicars.
amphicars were sitting there waving
Yeah,
to us and saying
But
stuff. or
that was
yelling
really
at the
special.
foofies.
That felt very, like, again, we wanted it to create, like, we have a very limited capability of what we could do to compete with like a Disney level creator event,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
But I feel like there were little things.
But are we really trying to
No,
or not?
no.
That's the
But
thing.
I
It
think
doesn't
what was
matter.
special about it was people knew that we were saying, like, we want to do this so you feel something. Like we always say, what makes us go to Disney? What we feel. We want to feel something. So we didn't want it to be like, and here's
Yeah.
this, and it was like we wanted people to feel something at every step of the way, and they did. And again, there was the flexibility. Like when everybody went to Patty's, I was kind of like, this isn't my like kind of thing. So when Missy had already headed over to Shine Bar, I was like, I'll see you guys over there. So some people migrated over to Shine Bar, and some people stayed. You guys were still over there at Raglan, and I was like, okay, great. And then people came in there. And then it was like we went to go to Stargazers, and we hung there for a minute. We were like, let's head over down to City Works. So there was a lot
Yeah.
of flow, flexibility. Some people went and they wanted to go grab something somewhere. They
There
went
was
to
a
shop.
lot of great conversations in that. And like, again, it's not to get twisted. We're not a Disney drinking group, nothing against like Disney day drinkers or anything
Right,
like that.
not
Cause I
at
love
all.
them too.
Love them too.
And like they organize events where it's primarily surrounded about
Fantastic.
those kind of things
Yeah,
like bar
they're
crawls
awesome.
and whatever else. And they're great.
Yeah.
But ours was more about the community thing of actually the conversations and doing things and engaging with each other.
Because there were some
whatever
people
we're
that
gonna do.
don't drink.
And
There
that's
were
the
some
thing is
people
like,
that,
and you
like,
know, I don't
drink.
ever want to make it, and we said this before, you and I have talked, I said, I don't want to make it about like glorifying the drinking part of it. Cause some people that might not be their thing. It might
Right.
detract from it, but I'm saying there's people in that group that didn't drink that had equally as great
Oh,
a
yeah.
time as the people that were
For
half
sure.
lit when they're
For
like, yeah.
sure.
Cause most people, it's like, I'll be honest with you, during the bar
Our pregnant
crawl,
sister was with us. She wasn't drinking.
during the bar crawl, I think I had drinks at Boathouse. I had a drink at Raglan, and then I didn't drink for the rest of the time. I'm like, I wasn't sitting there drinking every one, but I'm like, I was going, I was having fun, having conversations and seeing stuff.
And then it was perfect because perfect example that these people that had all just met basically, on this trip, a lot of them were just meeting the group for the whole first
And
time.
icebreakers.
And
that's
when we went to Benihana that night with our family, because we were like, okay, well, we're going to go to Benihana. So because we wanted everyone, because meals weren't included and we didn't want the pressure of that, we were like,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to go do this. Everybody, and the majority of the group was like, okay, well, we're going to go do Magic Kingdom. So they didn't feel like they needed us to be present
Yeah.
for them to
Oh, no.
feel like they were still having
And
their
we got a lot of
festival
these
run.
people that are Disney all-stars and veterans, basically, where they go through, they're like, we know what we want to do, we can go do this stuff. And it's great because you get the stories of that. And then you see those connections.
Yeah.
And like, when Emily say something about like Frank and like her family, everything else, like it was like, oh, you're so nice to my child, whatever else. And it was like, these kind of things, it's like, those are the
Nazi. I had
experiences.
Nazi with me, and everybody like was so great with him.
Yeah.
Everyone was very welcoming because obviously I brought him along, and he didn't participate in everything. And Kelly had brought her son, and he's an older teenager, but like still, Frank's kids when they showed up at things, they were absolutely
we had a
welcomed
blast
and
with them.
enjoyable and super fun.
But we had so much different things going on, and it was just like, it was just easy. And that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that, and then
It
we
was
can
natural.
get through to where it was for, we did the bar crawl, we did what was it from that night? Everybody went their own separate ways and everything after
And
that.
we had the podcast the next
And
morning.
we did the podcast the next morning. And Missy, shout out to Missy, who it was like a podcast brunch.
Yeah.
And
Brunch
Missy
back
did an
the
amazing charcuterie display. And like, she's like, I'm not happy with it. I'm like, this isn't spectacular.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
literally,
like you
was it-
when you do things. You're always like,
it
not
was
good enough, not good enough.
spectacular, but
No, it was beautiful.
I couldn't say enough. People were taking pictures of this thing before we all got there. Missy cut little cheeses into Mickey Mouse shapes, everything. It was like, who does this?
was very
She
special.
does. I'm like hummus petals for flowers and
mimosas, and we had,
yeah, we had this,
and
but it was nice
just-
because we were in a grand villa at Boardwalk. And that's where we had the podcast thing. We didn't tell anybody where it was going to be. We didn't know how it was going to develop, and we ended up having it up there,
At
which
this
ended up
point,
working
it was us
great.
having our friends over because these people
Yeah.
were all our friends. At
It
this
was
point.
so fun. We got to engage with everybody. People got to come up and tell us about like their experience at Festival of Friends, things they would take with them, you know, just have some fun. And it was nice to do a podcast in front of a live studio audience. Basically, it was a little nerve wracking too, but it was so fun to see people that normally don't talk come out of their shell and talk and say things, because people don't, not everybody's meant for spotlight stuff, because that's
Yeah,
not who
and
their
that's okay.
personality is, but they want to be along for the ride. They don't want to be
Right.
that center of attention. It was nice to see people come up there and say, okay, I'll say something.
Right.
And I loved it. I mean, like those things were, and there was emotional times where a couple different people,
I was going to say,
you know,
I said it during that podcast, but you know, when we put this together, fun and community were like number one. We're like, this is going to be fun. It's going to be easy. Like for them, we didn't want anything to feel hard or restrictive, but we could never have expected or predicted or caused to become the amount of emotion that came from this event. Like it, by the podcast day, it felt like we'd been on a retreat together. Like people that were sharing in that episode. And if you guys haven't listened to that episode, I know it's different sound quality because we were doing it in a villa. And
yeah, we have to
everything,
do it better.
and it's 2 hours. But if you listen to that, you really will get the heart of what the event was, because people getting up there, and it started with Jacqueline, and we didn't expect it. It was like, oh, hey, what? And it was tears. It was sharing. Like this was something we all said, we came into this community not knowing it was going to provide so much that we didn't know we needed. And then knowing that people in this corner were feeling the same thing, like this is what I was looking for. We can go to Disney anytime on our own, but this community, this like occasion, this permission, like, you know, Missy's permission slip trips, like this permission we gave ourselves to be together and to just let loose. And that people were sharing in that episode, I lost my job, I had a breakdown, like these intense stories. And we were like, oh my God, like, you know, you and me with our little
Well, that's where you
lighthearted
feel
show
safe.
that we were like,
well, that's the
this
thing.
is
It's
amazing.
where you feel safe.
Yeah.
That's when you know you found your people.
It was beautiful.
Because when you can talk and say, oh, well, I can share these things and feel vulnerable enough to share things, and also have that, you can see that that's really received by everybody. Because some people just aren't those people in life. You can be like, oh, what everybody's got problems. Everybody has that happen. Get over it. Rub some dirt in it, kind of thing.
Or,
But the
oh,
people-
we only came for good times. Don't bring us down.
don't say
It's
this
like,
stuff. We always say certain things. We stay away from certain hot button topics like politics, religion, things, whatever else it is.
current events.
Current events, whatever else you want to do. But things that we shouldn't really, it doesn't matter what opinion is. Okay. It just matters what you feel about it.
Yeah.
So we stay away from those kind of things, but it was so nice to have those conversations. And then to know after that, we got to go over to Baseline at Hollywood Studios, have a great time. And all of us not really wanting this to end.
Yeah.
We all got to hang out there. And then some of us went over when Shay came in and everything.
The glam bot.
And we did the glam bot thing on Tower of Terror, which was fun. I had never done that. I didn't know what I was doing.
Mr. Morrow and give him a coin.
Mr. Morrow was there, and Gina went over to him.
FaceTime, thanks to Rob. We FaceTimed Sarah in the UK, who couldn't be there. It was a moment. It was
Those kind of things, like I said, there's a lot of memories that I'll take with me for a long time. But it only makes me more excited about the next one to see what we can do to raise the bar, because I'm not somebody that's okay with what we did before. I'm sure everybody would love what we did before, but I always want to make something better.
Right.
I always want to find a way to keep going without ruining it. You can make more of a cake, but don't change the recipe.
Right.
You know, you could say, okay, there's a lot more cake here. It's still delicious. It doesn't taste any different, but there's a lot more of it, and you're going to love it even more. So we're not going to run out of it. The fact that now it's a 4-day kind of thing, going from, you know, the 4th to 5th to 6th to 7th of February next year,
During farts.
It's going to be during Festival of the Arts. Yes.
And for those who may see us talking about foofies, there's a story behind that. We
Yeah.
call ourselves the foofies because Festival of Friends, which we know is F-O-F.
But we say foof, not
foof,
fools
'cause
say
fof
foof.
stupid. Foofy's not stupid.
Yeah.
But it's based on a word that our mom used to use for fart. And it just kind of like came together. So now we all call ourselves the foofies. And it's so cute and it's so silly and it's so on brand for the fact that it's like, this is silly and kind of like whatever. But I do think that what you were just saying, that it's like, there were so many heartwarming moments. There were so many silly, funny moments. To have so many people being like, I can't wait for the next one. So we will do things a little differently because you were saying we're going to cap registration. We're going to limit time of registration because last time we really were pushing to the end.
I'll
with
be
our
honest with you,
sponsors
with
of
what we know right now and what's already kind of being said to us about that. I don't think registration is going to be open long.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying in general.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, we'll have a cutoff, but it's not going to hit it.
It needed to be
Like,
because
it's
our
just
4 sponsors, like towards the end, we were trying to figure out because we hadn't put a
numbers.
closed number on it. We were like trying to, but we were like, okay, we're going to close by this day because we wanted to be able to give them fair for numbers that they were donating and whatever. And obviously, if you're listening to this and you are somebody who's interested in sponsoring, please like reach out to us because you can do ads in the brochure, in the passport, or you can donate something for the swag. But we've already had people reaching out to us for next time. And that's special because, again, to our own detriment, usually financial gain on our part is very low on our priority list because we're just like, look, if we make something right and it's in God's plan for us to eventually be, have something lucrative and something great. But initially, if that's our first thought, it's not going to be great because nothing.
And that wasn't the point of this
it,
thing. Yeah,
it wasn't. It was like we want.
That's what we don't want to misconstrue. It sounds different, but I'm like, the fact is, we didn't want to misconstrue. Like, somebody would think we were doing this event because it was money driven. It was basically
that's what I mean. I'm saying like if we had done something with money as our first, it wouldn't have been great. It would have been like all the wrong priorities. We would have been like, okay, well, we got to still make money. We and we would have been losing out. For us, it was just like, how do we make this great for everyone? Yes, ourselves included, as far as our experience in it.
Yeah.
We wanted to have fun. We wanted everyone to feel like they were invited to this and they chose to participate and that we could just make it special for them. And the fact that that's what it was received as just made us so happy that that's what's got to stay the forefront focus is like, we've got to just keep making it special, keep making it joyful, keep making it, because you can't force any part of it. You can't be like, okay, is everyone having fun? Is everyone having fun? Okay, are you crying yet? Are you crying yet? Are you making friends? Like, that's not what it is. It's just like,
the thing is, we're all adults.
Yeah.
But we've created somewhere collectively, not us, collectively as a group. I always say, so we put on something called Festival of Friends.
Yeah.
That's not, Bring Back the Magic podcast puts it on.
Right.
But it's us as a community that makes it. And that's kind of the way I think of it. I don't think of it saying, okay, I got to do this. It's not like running a convention for like a Comic-Con or something like that, saying, oh, this is mine. I got to make this event this way because I got to show this stuff. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I have ideas to do other things. I have ideas for the podcast part of things. I have ideas for interaction things. I have ideas for game things. I have ideas for a lot of stuff that you and I know, because I can't say stuff right now yet because when this episode comes out, but what's coming.
Yeah.
And
exciting.
It's like a natural, not even a natural progression.
Yeah.
It's like almost a supernatural progression because it's like I'm exceeding out.
It's like when you're shopping for Christmas gifts and you're like, I want to tell you what I got you, but I can't because it's like, I can't
Yeah, it's
tell
like,
you what
I
got
found
you.
the greatest deal ever.
It's like,
I could
I'm so
never
excited
afforded
for
this
you.
or never thought it was attainable, but I got it and it's for you.
exciting.
That's the kind of stuff I want because I want to see the people that are around us and that have showed us so much support. Listen, we are a brother-sister podcast talking about Disney. We are both in our 40s. We are not getting any younger, but we couldn't feel any better about the thing we're doing, regardless of what we're anything else.
And I also want to give a shout out to the ears I'm wearing right now, which was a super sweet gift.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
The Foofies gave us, where they all signed it, and back of it says FOF 2026 on mine, and they gave Josh a hat, and they all signed it, and that was just like.
And I have it on
such-
Dopey.
I like cried when they gave it to me because I was like, that's such a sweet, thoughtful thing that you guys like. Here we are feeling indebted to you to like.
Yeah, I didn't
jumping
expect
on
that. I
board
came
this.
right out of the blue.
And like the fact that you guys want to do something like that's so nice. Like you being here is what you did for us.
I thought
You
it was
taking part
wonderful.
in this like is what you did for us. You didn't need to do more, but it's such a sweet memento for us of, the event.
No, I'll remember a lot of this. Like as far as like as one of those trips that's like there was a lot of things
And I
that
make no apologies for anyone who's sick of us talking about it on social media or the podcast because it's always going to be special to us. It's always going to be special. We're always going to be excited. And if you take part in it, you will understand why. And it's not just us.
If you
It's not
don't
just
know,
us
you
talking
know.
about it. And like you said, we're not talking about it to hype our own podcast.
Yeah,
That's the irony.
the chats we have with the
Yeah.
people that from Festival of Friends
Yeah.
are like, everybody's just as excited as we are because again, it's ours, it's ours.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to get across to people. It's not something like, look at Josh and Gina. No, I'm like, that's not us. And I'm not trying to say that to sound better.
I mean,
I'm like,
sometimes it is. We're like, karaoke.
well,
look at
here's me. No, it's like, anyway, you know what? Forget what I said. It's all about us.
No, but it was something that we thought, oh, this will be a great way. It's like anything else. You're like, oh, when your first idea first comes up, this will be a great way to promote our podcast. And then that just fell very low on the priority list because we were like, I'm just so excited about what this is going to like just feel like to be there.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
It's gonna
man,
be
everything is going to be leveled up. I'm not trying to set an unreal expectation for something, but I'm saying I'm leveling up a lot of things next year
Just
for how this is
basically,
going to
it's
go
gonna be the
about,
best
how
time
things
you've
are going
ever
to
had
be
in your life.
organized.
It's just going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life and better than your weddings or the days your children were born.
Right. I like the fact there is a theme. I like the fact there is a theme to this.
Yes.
Did we already discuss what the theme was?
I have already alluded, and I mean, it doesn't matter if we say it here because it'll be out by that day.
Yeah.
By the time this airs, it will be out.
Yeah. So the theme is, Gina,
Theme is the art of friendship.
because it will be during Festival of the Arts.
Friendship is an art. It is an
Yes.
art. And that we learned that like it really is something special. It is something to admire and to gaze upon. It is something to, make you happy the way that art does. And there's a lot of creativity and there's a lot of different pieces and it may look different to different people. Different friendships look different, but perfectly during Festival of the Arts to have our first theme that we're giving be the art of friendship.
Yeah.
And we have lots of fun things that we were tying into that. And I'm very, very excited about
Yeah,
that.
that's going to be a
So
cool
that's gonna be
thing.
really fun.
Like I said, this went exceedingly well
Yeah. it
as
really
far as what.
Thank you to all for who came and made it special. Josh, thank you to you. Thank you to Missy. Like what you guys did to really.
No, thanks
knock
to you.
this out
You know,
of the park.
you put a lot of things together, Gina, for this and building a community for us. So all the friends we have through this are mainly attributed to you for
So
going
glad you
back and
remember
forth.
that. Thank you for
Yeah.
remembering. I just need
Um,
acknowledgement.
I mean, got to give her something. But somebody needs compliments. That's my love language. Words of affirmation.
No, mine is acts of service. Thank you. So
Well, there.
that's why I said thank you. Thanks for doing all that stuff.
Yeah, right. So is there anybody? Let's see. Let me do this real quick.
Well, first of all, shout out is obviously.
Well, we're gonna do a shout out. Shout it out now. All
I
right.
want to say obviously shout out. Shout out to everyone who was a part of this. And that includes every single one of our foofies that
Yep.
came and participated, every single sponsor that was part of it and supported it, again, sight unseen, every single member of our family that made it possible for us to do this, your family, my family, everyone who allowed us to dedicate time to this and who supported
No,
us.
that's the other
in
thing I
this
was trying to
mission.
say. I was trying to remember too. Was like Maddie on Main Street again. There's a pin in the bag, little castle pin that was
Yeah.
in the bag.
Mhm.
People absolutely loved
Yeah.
those kind of things. I'm just and the same thing with Itty Bits Designs had the
Mhm,
little
tattoos,
sparkly
yeah,
tattoo things
mhm.
underneath your eye. People
Mhm.
love those things. Those were
Yeah.
awesome. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what else in the I don't want to forget anything anybody gave us because I don't want to seem like that I'm scatterbrained. I've got old Josh brain right now.
Theme Park Chuckle. gives
Theme
us a
Park Chuck
sticker.
with the button and the stickers and everything else. The
Yeah.
little Jessica Rabbit sticker.
It was very fun. But also, I just want to say shout out in advance to anyone who's already
Planning on going.
planning on coming to
Yeah.
next time, because I promise you, like if anything you've heard about this sounds like your vibe, like you're like, I'm a Disney adult and I want to like hang out and meet some fun people and make some real connections, like then this is your thing. If what you hear, if you like this show enough to listen to it and you feel like the vibe that we put out of fun and lighthearted, but also at the same time sentimental, like we're also very
Yeah.
sentimental people, then this is it. If you want to know that if you like when Ashley came and Ashley couldn't be there for every single day, Callie
Mhm.
had to leave early, but they still felt like this was such a fun festival,
Mhm.
even though they were in and out.
An abbreviated
and things
thing.
and had
yeah.
other plans with other people, or Callie had to leave early, like I said, and fly back. It was great. People this isn't something that you
No
have to
matter
feel
the
like,
length of times we got to be with people, it was
Yeah,
great.
it was
Because that's the thing. It's like you could have been there one day or all the days. We still
Yeah.
loved hanging out with you.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. I want to, what is it? What I
And
want
shout
to
out
say?
to our friend Ty, who we met at La Cava.
That's what I was going to say. So
Where he had-
Ty, who had the most coolest hat in the world, he made like orange bird, and then
He's
gave me
one
these
of
little
many that
crocheted,
he's done. Yeah,
little crocheted Mickey that I love. That I put
but that
over
was a
here.
fun
So
part of the trip.
nice
Meeting someone
handmade.
who actually listens to our show, like
Oh
out
no,
in
that's
the
a great.
wild.
That's a friendship that was made on the trip for
And
Festival of
Jasmine.
Friends.
Jasmine was a friendship that we made, not
Exactly.
expecting to, like, because we didn't know that she was going to be there. So it was
And
like,
things, and there's other people that kind of went in the group that weren't registered people in there. We said, be part of
yeah,
this.
we
You
don't
can
own
still
Walt
come.
Disney
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Come
people
say
know
hi,
that
hang
the
out.
ticket price got you certain benefits, but there was
Yeah.
never a matter of you can't sit with
Yeah.
us. It was
Yeah.
never a matter of like you can't hang out with us if you're not part of this.
Exactly.
Like, so
No.
it was great.
And I will say
carry it
that,
with me till the next one.
like every other episode, most of them in that case, this one was brought to you by Theme Park Chuckle, the web store. Grab yourself a cool Disney-based t-shirt or two and support the podcast, like this Bring Back the Magic Pleasure Island throwback shirt available on Theme Park Chuckle.
Shameless self-promotion, but something special about Theme Park Chuckle that I just want to highlight is because of the site we do it through. You can select the color of the shirt and the cut of the shirt.
Yeah.
Because there are very few Disney small shops that offer tank tops.
Mhm.
And when you're going to Florida in the heat, sometimes a tank top is a nice choice. And they have
Well,
a
shout out to the
multitude.
small shops. Start making tank tops.
Right, but I'm saying like things like that, if you wanted it in a crew neck, if you wanted it in a hoodie, like because of the site, obviously that we do it through, that's why we choose to do it that way.
Yeah.
Also, is like we just like putting the fun designs out there. That's not a moneymaker, but being able to say, oh, you can get it on anything you want.
Yeah, we
And-
tease about all that stuff financially, guys. It's just a joke, but it's like the fact is, it's fun to have those
Yeah.
little designs
Be
out
able
there.
to have like the way you want it. So
Yeah. All right. Tell them where you can find us, Gina.
if you are seeing my face right now, you have found us and you are watching this on YouTube. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. The notification bell. That was perfect. So you don't miss a minute of the magic and you are updated when a new episode drops in case there's anything besides the podcast that we put on YouTube. Also, if you are just hearing my voice, you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So please give us a follow, drop some comments on any of those platforms. A review is always super helpful. Apple Podcast downloads are great. But if you really are missing us in between these Thursday episodes and we had a couple weeks off, then you want to follow us on social media, which is at BBT Magic Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. We also do have a Facebook. We also have an awesome website that is just really coming together, and that is at bbtmpodcast.com or at bringbackthemagicpodcast.com. You can find it either way.
Nice. That's a lot. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Please watch your head and step as you exit the podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Bring back the magic for all to see. Together we'll discover all the joy and glow. In every story, there's a little bit of gold. Join our podcast adventure, let the magic unfold.